You are listening to the Fit Figure Formula podcast. I help female perfectionists beat self-sabotage and lose the weight for good using the Fit Figure Formula coaching program. I'm your host, Stephanie Riles, registered dietitian, personal trainer, and mindset transformation coach. If you've been struggling with all or nothing thinking, negative self-talk, or self-sabotage, this is the podcast for you. Learn how to get consistent and become the best version of yourself from the inside out. So let's get started. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Fit Figure Formula podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie Riles. Today, I want to talk about how gratitude is absolutely going to transform your weight loss journey. I am actually recording this on Thanksgiving Day. So this episode is for female perfectionists who have yo-yo dieted for years, who always find themselves starting and stopping on Monday, women who struggle to see their progress, and those of you who are always focused on your next flaw. So this is such an important topic because when you do not focus on gratitude inside of your weight loss journey, you will tend to stop and start a lot more. So I had a client who I had been working with for several weeks, and I was showing her her progress photos, okay? And she and I were looking at the exact same progress photos at the exact same time. And as her coach, I'm sitting here looking like, here's your progress photos. Here's your before, here's your after. It looks great. In my mind, I'm like thinking I'm showing her something that is positive, but I'm noticing her body language, her facial expressions, and she's not giving me the energy I thought she was going to give. And I'm like, well, what do you see? Right? So as a coach, I'm here to like pick your brain and see like, what are you thinking that then turns into an emotion and then creates an outcome or an action, right? And she was like, well, my stomach, I still don't like my stomach area, et cetera, et cetera. And I was like, oh, you and I are looking at the same photos, but you actually don't see what I see. And so I pointed out, here's how I'm looking at this. And I kind of zoom in, and she didn't even realize that her waist was cinching in. She was just focused on this one part of her body that she did not like. And she was looking for flaws. How many times do we look in the mirror and we're still looking for the things that we do not like? This client was surprised and actually blown away when I showed her, here's how I'm looking at it. Like, I don't have like an emotional attachment to it, right? And so I'm just looking for progress. And so I zoom in and I show her, your waist is cinching in. Do you not see that? And she's like, oh my God, I missed it. It was right in front of my face and I missed it. Why? Because I'm looking for flaws. I'm looking for things that I still don't like about myself. So if we practice this weight loss power tool of gratitude, it can literally shift how you experience your weight loss journey. And this is something that I teach my clients and that we actively practice on a weekly basis inside of the Fit Figure Formula. And I do feel like gratitude is something that we all know is powerful. It can shift our mood, but how often are you actually practicing it specifically in the areas of your body and your weight loss, right? And so I have my clients work on this. There's a section inside the Fit Figure Formula where we're actively thinking about our body and trying to get very detailed about the things that we can already find gratitude for. Because so many times we're always looking for what next, right? We check off a box. We lose a pound. All right, what next? We lose 5 pounds. Okay, what next? We lose 10 pounds. Okay, what next? And we just kind of like keep moving the goalpost on our own self, and we don't celebrate those wins. We don't stop to congratulate ourselves. We don't stop to even acknowledge what has actually happened. And so your brain is like, okay, well, that didn't really matter. Those 5 pounds didn't matter. So why would I keep doing this work to create more 5-pound losses when this 5 pounds wasn't good enough? So here's why gratitude is a weight loss power tool and not just like a cute concept, right? Gratitude actually changes the state of your being. So perfectionists often approach weight loss with urgency, with stress, with shame, with what's wrong with me energy. But gratitude shifts you into calmness, into hope, into self-belief, the emotional state where consistency actually becomes possible. When your energy is different, so are your choices. Think about how it feels for you to be stressed or for you to be in a rush and have this sense of urgency, like I have to lose these last 10 pounds by my birthday. or to use shame tactics or what we call discipline, but really is like your inner mean girl just beating yourself up to get to your goal, right? It's going to feel so much different than actually practicing gratitude. Weight loss really is about you versus you, and not even you versus you, but you with you and your relationship with yourself. And it is a spiritual journey, especially if you are someone who has 20, 30, 40, 50 plus pounds to lose. This can't just be something that you're doing for a specific time. It has to become really who you are. Your identity must shift, and priming your brain to be looking for the things that are going well are going to absolutely shift your energy, and it's going to make your choices different. Gratitude interrupts the never enough perfectionist mindset. So whenever you are a perfectionist, again, this is like that insatiable, okay, I got to my weight loss goal. Now I need to tone, or I got to my weight loss goal, but I don't like this skin, or I got to my weight loss goal and now I still don't like my stomach. It's like always finding something else that's wrong or something else to fix, like a project, right? And so gratitude makes what you have enough. And it doesn't mean that you cannot have goals. It just means that I'm not trying to fix myself, right? There is some level of acceptance right where you are. And then from that energy, you can create the best version of yourself, but not through the energy of I'm trying to fix everything that's wrong with me. So gratitude lets you think, I'm actually grateful to show up today. I'm grateful that I get to show up today. And it stops the spiral of self-criticism that leads to emotional eating and giving up. Gratitude helps you stay the journey. When you appreciate even the tiniest wins, you do not quit. And inside the formula, I used to call them small and big wins, but really there are no small wins. Every win, every time you show up for yourself, every pound lost, every half pound lost, is how you get to the big goal. There are no big goals without the small wins. So the small wins actually are not small at all. Gratitude helps you to stop micro quitting the small daily tasks that we may give up on, like skipping your walk today because you didn't get 10K steps, or maybe you can't get that many, so you don't do it at all, or giving up on meal prep because the week didn't go as planned, or stopping tracking because you feel like you went over your macros one day, so you feel like your whole week is ruined. Gratitude reminds you that imperfect progress is still progress. Think about that. I would rather make imperfect progress than have to be perfect to make progress. Gratitude is going to make your process so much more enjoyable. It makes your weight loss journey feel less like punishment. Perfectionists often approach weight loss with, I have to fix myself. I'm so behind. I'm failing. I would be farther along if, right? Do those sentences sound familiar? Gratitude helps you to enjoy the process because you start noticing what is working and not what's missing. It builds momentum. When you can actually appreciate those quote unquote little wins, your brain actually wants to repeat them. That's motivating, right? Remember, motivation is not butterflies. It is just the energy required to overcome the resistance to getting started. And your weight loss journey is just a series of getting started over and over again, whether that's getting started on your walk, getting started on your planning your meals, getting started prepping your meals. It's just a series of getting started on these little habits because you know that once you get started, you can see it through. Gratitude opens your eyes to the possibilities instead of the problems. Think about how much better you can problem solve. You can workshop a problem. Maybe you're having a conflict in your schedule with your workouts or your meal prep, or maybe you're not getting your walks done, or maybe you have a week where you just did not show up the way that you wanted to. Gratitude actually helps you open your eyes to the possibilities of how can I make this work? That is so powerful. That's such a powerful question that you can ask yourself when, man, I see like this schedule, what I'm doing right now is really not getting me the results that I want. How can I make this work? And have you ever had a situation where you had a problem and you really didn't understand, or you didn't see how you were going to fix the problem? It was just like, man, and maybe you procrastinated on like trying to fix the problem. And it wasn't until you sat down with it and kind of like laid it out. Maybe you wrote down, your possibilities, or your options, and then you started breaking down each one. And when you really get intimate with an issue, with a problem, with something that you want to make progress on, your brain starts to open up options that you didn't see before. Because if we choose to complain or get discouraged instead, we will never see the possibilities. When you feel grateful, you naturally feel more hopeful, more creative, more open, more solution oriented, right? And that is going to transform your weight loss journey, but also your life. Inside of the formula, I have my clients really lean into gratitude. And you can be grateful for so many things. If you have an issue with getting at like 10 things to be grateful for, I guarantee you're just not getting detailed enough. So here's how you can be grateful, even if you don't feel grateful yet for the things regarding your body. Because I feel like when we talk about gratitude, a lot of times we're talking about, I'm grateful for my family, my kids, my home, things like that, which is great to be grateful for all those things. But I want you to think specifically about you, your body, your strengths, your talents, your energy, your light, your ambition, your strong legs that carry you through the day, your lungs that help you breathe every single day, your digestive system that is doing its best, your brain, your heart that has not stopped working on you yet, your body's willingness to change. You can be grateful for the fact that you can walk, you can move, you can choose what foods to eat. Have you ever thought about the power of your choice? Think about not having a choice. Think about if someone took away your ability to choose what foods that you actually put in your body. Would that not suck? You actually get to choose. And that is something to be grateful for, right? And so think about the fact that I get to choose healthy foods that fuel my body and that help me to feel my best. It gives me more energy, boosts my mood, helps my skin, and helps me to reach my goals. That feels really empowering. You can be grateful for your ability to learn, your ability to grow, your ability to develop self-discipline, your ability to develop a strategy for your emotional eating, right? Like there are so many things that we take for granted that are literally right in front of your face. Just like the example that I gave you earlier about my client who we're looking at the same 2 progress photos and we're seeing 2 completely different things. Again, gratitude unlocks those possibilities. Gratitude unlocks the things that are literally right in front of your face, but that you don't see because sometimes we choose to procrastinate or just not take action or distract ourselves or to complain instead. I have a whole podcast episode on complaining in your weight loss journey. And I would say that gratitude is the opposite of that. It's the opposite of complaining, right? Our body, this body that you're trying to change is the same body that is trying to support you every single solitary day. You can be grateful about your journey that you haven't given up yet, that you can learn new patterns, that you're developing more self-awareness, that you're building healthy habits slowly, that you are showing your kids what self-care looks like, that you are breaking generational cycles. Be grateful for your heartbeat every day. Like one day, it's going to beat for the last time. Like literally think about that. Every time you take a breath, every time your heart beats, every time you're able to take a walk, understand that one day it'll be your last. So take every moment with such gratitude. That is going to transform your weight loss journey. It's going to transform your life. And it's going to help you see how significant the small things that you just disregard right now are. We had a stress management coach come in and give us some great tips on how to manage our nervous system recently inside the Fit Figure formula. And it dawned on me during that conversation that our breath is what really helps us do so many things. Like if you think about like a Lamaze class, if you've ever been to a Lamaze class, what do they teach you? They teach you breathing techniques, right? Our breath does so much, like just paying attention to how we're breathing. I was teaching my son what's called a psychological breath, where you take a huge inhale and then right when you get to the top of that inhale, you take another quick little inhale. That's called a psychological sigh. And then you slowly release that inhale through your mouth through a very slow exhale. And this actually helps to calm your nervous system. And so I'm teaching him this when he starts to get upset or stressed about things. And I almost looked at it as like our breath is really not only our tool, but it felt like a friend. Like it's always there. We don't really pay too much attention to it. But when we do pay attention to our breath, it gets us through stressful times, hard things in life, labor and bringing a child into this world. We literally lean on our breath, right? Even when we are doing like meditations, our breath is actually so powerful and we take it for granted and it's always just right there, right? So when we start with those micro steps, those small moments of gratitude, I'm so grateful for drinking water today. Like some people don't have clean water to drink or clean water to give to their children. I'm so grateful that I paused to grab a snack today and that I am able to just grab a snack and have a snack when I need a snack. Some people are not able to do that. I'm so grateful that I'm not quitting this time, that I might be going slower than I want, but I'm here for me. I am here for me. And I'm not going to leave me behind this time. I'm going to stick with me. I'm going to stick with my process and my progress wherever I'm at. I'm going to have my own back. If you have a hard time thinking of more gratitude for yourself and like really getting granular about like small things that you can be grateful for about your body, your characteristics, etc., ask somebody that loves you. And you will probably find a pattern, some things that multiple people say that you're like, wow, really? This is what you see in me? Have you ever done that? That's like a great exercise to practice. Go ask somebody, go ask like 3 or 4 people that you love and that love you back. What are some positive traits about you that they love about you, that they admire about you? And see if you can find some patterns in what they say. And maybe, just maybe, they're right. Maybe, just maybe, they see something in you that you don't see in yourself. Even if it's something that has to do with your body and maybe they think that you're beautiful and you just cannot see it. What if you just can't see it, but it's right in front of your face? Open up your mind to the possibility that there is something to be grateful for about right where you are, about your body right exactly how it is right now, about who you are and how you show up for others, but also how you show up for yourself and also how you can show up for yourself, the opportunity that you have right now to show up for yourself. Gratitude is going to help you see that process. It's going to help you see that progress. It's going to help you see those small wins, those inches lost, that consistency. It's going to help you shift your mindset. You're going to have better energy. You're going to have fewer binges. Gratitude can help you see how much you already have to be proud of. Gratitude is the antidote to I'm not losing weight fast enough. Instead of obsessing over the scale, gratitude reminds you that, hey, my clothes are fitting better. I'm getting stronger. My energy is higher. I'm eating more intentionally. I'm not starting and stopping. I'm building habits. I'm getting better. I'm better than I was last week. Gratitude creates this internal evidence from recognizing what you're already doing, what's already there. I promise you, you have so much more to be grateful for than what you're giving yourself credit for. A lot of times what happens instead is that we complain, right? Complaining magnifies the negative. It makes it actually bigger than it really is, like the problem bigger than what it really is. And you see more problems. The more that you complain, the more problems that you're going to see, the more heavy you're going to feel just emotionally, the more overwhelmed you're going to get, and you'll get overwhelmed faster the more that you complain. The more that you complain, you slip into all or nothing thinking. You start believing that your journey isn't working and it's not worth it. Complaining fuels emotional eating, and the stress eating starts in your mind before it ever starts in your mouth. Complaining keeps you stuck in victim energy. Why is this so hard? Nothing's working for me. I can't do this. And it disconnects you from your power. It also disconnects you from options, from opportunities, from problem solving. Complaining makes consistency feel impossible. And then you stop doing those small things that move you forward because you feel defeated. And then you actually create the exact outcome that you did not want. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to get into this practice of daily gratitude. think about what is one win for your body. So every night I want you to think about what's one win for my body, what's one win for my mindset, and what is one win when it comes to my nutrition or fitness. Even if it's tiny, even if it's like I got 2,000 steps yesterday and I got 2,500 steps today. That's progress, right? You can set a daily reminder on your phone. Find one thing to appreciate right now, right? So you can set that timer, set that alarm in your phone to remind yourself to look for the things to appreciate. And I promise you, once you start cueing yourself to do that, you'll do it naturally. You can also put it on your mirror, like a little sticky note to say, what's one thing I can appreciate right now? Put the reminders on your desk, put the reminders on your phone screen. And it's just something that you can do mentally, right? Like this isn't going to take up any time. Gratitude is right there. It's always available. One thing that I really, really love is going for a gratitude walk. So this is something else that you can do. Instead of just taking a walk, you can take a gratitude walk, right? So while walking, I just want you to think about 10 things that you love, right? So that could be your strong legs. That could be how the sun is hitting your skin. You could create gratitude for this time that you have to execute this really healthy habit of simply just walking. Honestly, the most simple things in life are actually the most profound. Walking, our breath, silence, right? Like these things are relatively simple, but they actually can transform your life. When you're eating, practice gratitude while you're eating. This will slow you down a little bit too, and really appreciate the food, the fact that you get to choose your health, that you're building strength. Practice gratitude for how when you eat a healthy meal, how it just feels good. You don't feel super tired. You feel more energetic. I love how I feel like after I eat a good smoothie. It just makes me feel like clean on the inside, like I'm doing something really positive for myself. Healthy habits really, really make you feel good. And then of course, gratitude journaling, right? It doesn't have to be long. You could take 2 minutes, right? And just write out like, here's what I'm grateful for, right? And you can also be grateful for the future you. I'm grateful that I'm becoming the woman who can take care of myself so well. I'm grateful that I'm becoming a disciplined, fit woman who sets boundaries and loves herself so much. So take this little tool of gratitude, and I want you to make it specific to you now, not to your family. This is all about you. And take these little habits and start implementing them today. This is something that you can do today that's going to help give you that 1% shift. Right? You do this each day in one of the ways that I've mentioned today. I've given you multiple, and watch your weight loss journey change. And if you need help, I would love to be your guide inside of the Fit Figure Formula, where we don't just teach about macros. We're also going to teach you about your mindset and how your lifestyle, your mood, your energy, and who you're becoming can be transformed, can be elevated inside of the Fit Figure Formula. What I'm going to teach you is not only going to change your life for now, but it's going to change your life even after you graduate from the program. You are not paying for 16 weeks of coaching. You are paying for what you learn in 16 weeks that's going to change your life forever. Of course, we need to know and learn more about our food and not just focus on what we're taking out of our diet. We need to actually understand how to properly fuel ourselves and our body and our mind. But also, we need to learn the steps that it takes to build a fit mindset. If you don't have a fit mindset, you will not have a fit lifestyle. So I can help you with both of these. If you are wanting to work with me, and if you're listening to this in real time, you only have a few more days. The Black Friday offer is ending at the end of this month. So make sure that if you want to join me inside the Fit Figure Formula, this is your last opportunity for 2025 to join me inside the formula. Head to the show notes immediately and make sure that you apply to work with me. And if you haven't already, go ahead and give me a 5-star rating on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Write a review, share this podcast with somebody that you know needs this message. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for listening to the Fit Figure Formula podcast. If you're new here and you're struggling with your fitness journey, I invite you to take a super simple next step. Click the link in the show notes for a free training. If listening to this podcast has been helpful, imagine being inside the Formula Coaching Program. You can apply for coaching with the link in the show notes. I hope to see you inside.